the glove of Bressler. 1 run comes in. Here comes Bodenhausen, and that'll do it. A mission accomplished. The first three-peat in big league history belongs to St. Joe.
We came into the summer knowing that we had the potential to do it again in our first three-peat. Feels amazing, especially with all the fans here and a crowd of what felt like the whole stadium was packed. It's amazing.
I mean, we don't toot our horn enough about how cool St. Joe is, and so this is just a small glimpse into what St. Joe, the potential of it, what it could be.
And St. Joseph's been known to be a baseball town for a long time. And with the way this team continues to play, perhaps this Mustangs dynasty is just beginning.
I think we're going to go for 4, and so 8-time champion sounds nice until you hear 9.
Welcome into another edition of the St. Joseph Mustangs show right here exclusively on KQ2. I'm Chris Roush. The show brought to you by Getz Credit Union and Ventura Foods. And we start this week's show with combining 2 very popular entities, St. Joe Mustangs and Taylor Swift. The Mustangs bringing it all together this weekend for an unbelievable experience.
The St. Joseph Mustangs are one of the hottest baseball teams in the Mink League, and they keep their fans on their feet, electrifying them every night. So why not partner that excitement with the worldwide phenomenon of the Taylor Swift Eras Tour?
We just kind of saw what's going on and how she's taken kind of the country by storm. We saw an opportunity with our fireworks music just for people to come together and have fun, enjoy a Mustangs game, but then also have a common bond as a Taylor Swift fan.
While the star won't be at full Welch in the flesh, fans will get to enjoy her music and elements of the record-breaking tour at the Mustangs game Saturday night.
We want to make sure we did this event justice, and so we try to look at every angle and make sure that it's inclusive for everybody. And got everything from the friendship bracelet trading, which I thought was such a fun idea for people to do at a concert. Some of the songs that we'll play during our fireworks music, too. We try to hit it from every angle where you're going to walk away with something tangible.
The Mustangs giving away Eras-inspired posters to the first 200 fans through the gate, and one lucky fan will walk away with 2 tickets to see Taylor Swift live.
You know, I know how hard it is to get concert tickets, and so we just thought about, what it would be, give someone an opportunity to win some here. That would really be the icing on the cake.
I know there was a lot of people out there who didn't get lucky enough to get tickets to a show, so I think that's what I'm most excited for, is to get to see someone's really dream come true.
One thing Taylor and the Mustangs have in common, creating a culture of community within their fan base.
She has created an amazing community in this country and around the world, and I think that people are really going to experience that this Saturday.
Whether you're a fan of the Mustangs, a Swiftie, or both, Saturday will have something for everyone.
As long as people are coming together, people are being themselves, that's what it's about. Just be yourself, do what you want, relate to the music, relate to the game, the people around you, however you want to. It's just about having a good time.
Turner just wants to make sure that there's no bad blood. Reporting from St. Joseph, Courtney Rowe, KQ2 News.
Still ahead on the St. Joseph Mustangs show right here on KQ2. I sit down one-on-one with the owner of the St. Joe Mustangs, Kai Turner. We talk about how this season has gone so far and what he expects for the future. Welcome back into the St. Joseph Mustangs show, sponsored by Getz Credit Union and Ventura Foods. Chris Roush being joined by the owner of the St. Joe Mustangs, Kai Turner. And Kai, we're on the home stretch now. 4th of July, all the extravaganzas that we saw through those couple of days, the first part of the season, that's behind us. Only a few games left here as we look at next week. Just a couple of chances left to see the Mustangs in the regular season.
Yeah, it's always bittersweet because, this is what we work all year for. July 4th is, a huge holiday and fun for us. And then, this past week, I think we had 8 games in 9 days or something. And so we're here, but, that was the stretch that we knew what was coming. And now we're just left with a few games in the regular season. So that's what's kind of bittersweet, just because we're not ready for it to end. But I mean, this is also an important part for us too, just because down the home stretch, every game matters. And so this is where we kind of pivot to, we learn about the Mustangs and who the players are, to we're on every pitch, every swing,
Right.
because the playoff race is here. And so it's a lot of fun. It just kind of, the different layers of a Mustang season. And right now we're just on that last layer. So we'll see what happens.
You've made the post a few times this year on social media about this year just felt different, maybe a little bit more special for you personally as well. What has made this year so unique in your eyes? Because you've been here for every single one of them.
I have, and so I don't know if you're trying to date me, but
I'm not yet.
For us, like, it just every year is unique in its own sense. Just you remember it for its own different reasons. 2021, just coming back. 2019, how great our team was. You can go back to Johnny's first year as manager with the Mustangs. Every year stands out for a different reason. But I'll tell you, this year, just the community, the feeling of being at the stadium. It's kind of feel like you climb those steps each year, and right now we've really climbed quite a few steps. Just the atmosphere, the response that we get in the community, the player response, just the stuff that we feel off the field. For whatever reason, it just feels like it's elevated, and we've kind of felt that growing, I think, since 2021, 2022, and so the future is definitely bright. But I'll tell you, this year I don't think we've ever had as much fun as we've had.
You talk about that, and coming back from COVID and everything, didn't know what 21 was going to look like. 22 building off of it. 23 now, it seems more excitement. Where can this organization go from here? You feel like as well?
That's a good question, and we don't know the answer. And that's kind of the beauty and the beast of what we do is, we never could have predicted half the stuff that we're doing right now. Three-time champions, three-peat champions, 8-time champions. I mean, who would have predicted that? To the different stuff that we've done on the field, off the field, to changing to tenderloins, I don't know. I mean, and like I said, that's kind of scary, but also equally awesome at the same time. That our story is absolutely a blank page, and so I really don't want to try and define us with a direction, because I don't know what that looks like. We've experimented some with. Like the banana ball per se that we've had with the police and fire game this past week, and then also when we had our kids game, and so that was a lot of fun. So you kind of see a different type of exhibition style game that we could play, and how that lends to the crowd. But then we'll never deviate from what we do at the Mustangs in traditional baseball games, but just where we can grow and do some different stuff. I mean, really, the sky's the limit, and so. Whether the ideas that we come in internally as the Mustangs in our front office and come up with stuff, or it could be what we see across the nation. I mentioned the bananas, or what our fans bring to us. Because, I mean, really for us, it's about having that local feel and what works for our crowd here in St. Joe. And I bring that up, people give us ideas all the time, and Kellen's root beer floats. Someone just called us up, Kellen called us up, and Kellen said, hey.
How old is Kellen?
6. So Kellen's 6, and so sometimes 6-year-olds have much better ideas than I can spend all summer trying to think up. And so, but just people come to us with these ideas, and so it's hard to really define. We've got goals set for us, on the field that's attainable, but anything past that, I don't know. So I mean, and like I said, it's fun and scary, but we'll see what happens.
The on-the-field part, what Johnny's been able to do after Matt Johnson's tenure here, too, to keep this going, just what's impressed you the most as you look back through the first few years of Johnny's tenure, when there was that pressure to keep that going, what Johnson had created?
Well, that's, the shoes that he stepped into is something that, everyone says, oh, what a great, position to be in. But you say that from a competitive standpoint, but then also wow, what a tough position to be in because of, where the Mustangs have grown and been at, and, what they mean really across the United States. People know the Mustangs. And so, the perception that people have, whether it's players, coaches, fans, other teams, and so to uphold that and to grow it is really hard. And so, Johnson did a great job with us. I mean, has his number retired and was incredible. It was really neat for us to, have the two of them last week for the alumni game, where Johnny was actually able to suit back up and play again. And so I'm going to Johnny with questions about the game. He said, don't ask me, ask Johnson. And so it's really weird to see that, but to see, when you have Johnson back out there commanding the team and just, comparing and contrasting that with what you experience underneath Johnny it's really interesting. And I know, for Johnny, just the pressure he's dealt with, as being a successful player in St. Joe and the other things that he balances, whether it's coaching a high school team or lessons and, there's a lot to that, whereas Johnson grew up, elsewhere, South Dakota, went to college somewhere else, and we didn't really know his story until he came to the Mustangs in St. Joe. Johnny, we've all watched him grow up and his whole entire story. And so to see that has been really great for us, just, where he's grown the team in so many different ways. And again, it's just the sky's the limit. Johnny has his own way of doing things, and it's been great, just to see the guys respond to him and, just the growth.
At this point, I think when you look at the on-the-field players too, a lot of local guys too, and it feels like high school-wise around here right now, girls basketball and baseball are some of the hottest sports we have right now. When you have so many local guys on the team, do you think that helps the Mustangs grow too? Because we've had so much success with baseball the last several years locally, and now you see these guys out there playing for the Mustangs too.
But I go back to like the first year of the Mustangs, and like we had those local guys, we had Johnny Coy, Ryan Hook, Creed Kurtz, Drew Garwood. I mean, the list goes on. I just think baseball in general has always been really good in St. Joe, and so I've always said we've been fortunate enough to be able to play baseball here in St. Joe, Missouri, where baseball is a part of the backbone, I think, of the community. Having a facility like Phil Welch Stadium built in 1939 and the historic aspect of that, but then also just the guys who have played here. You mentioned just couple games ago, we hosted Jim Wright, who pitched in a major league organization with the Royals and coached, has 30 to 40 years in MLB, and so just the history and tradition of baseball in St. Joe is not something that you can easily replicate, just like the Mustangs experience. But I'll tell you, it's been really neat to be able to have those players continue that tradition and see where they go. And I'll tell you, like these guys that we have locally. Ike Book, Cole Slabowski, Braden Lukehart, Jaden Little, our Savannah guys, Braden Berry, Noah Bodenhausen. I mean, just Dakota Spicer, Will Dryberg. I mean, these are all guys that it's growing up in St. Joe, they've been successful players, and then, but for their high schools and now for their college, they're doing some really cool stuff. Tanner Schmidt. I mean, these guys have really been good players, and I think Tanner's been with us for I think it's his third year, and so consistently to see them when they come in and then their continued growth as players, you think about it like without what the sport of baseball has done for them, not only athletically and playing on the field with their teams and the Mustangs, but then academically. I know Tanner's going to Fort Hays State next year, and Braden just signed to go to Wichita State, and some of these schools these other guys are going to. Tyson Hilselbeck, who's been incredible on the mound. I mean, that's why I hate naming names, because there's so many guys who have played for us that do a great job, and so it's hard to remember them all because there's so many of them that really do a good job. But you think about, like I said, academically what they're doing, and then the experience, the life experience that they get to have too is really interesting and a special thing.
Kai, we'll get you out of here on this one. Just a couple of regular season games left next week, and then the postseason right around the corner. If someone hasn't been to a game yet this summer, why should they come out for these last couple regular seasons and maybe the postseason too?
Well, Chris, I would say I haven't seen you at too many games this year.
Okay, I've been there.
I haven't seen you on air. I mean, Mitchell did a phenomenal job.
And then he left.
And he left. So I guess now we can't mention his name anyway. But
yeah, we can break that.
It's just it's so hard to like kind of when we get phone calls from people that say we want to do what you do here in St. Joe, and it's like I can't really just scoop it up and move it. I mean it's a special thing, and so it's for us it's continued evolution really from 2009. There's some stuff that we do back then that people may not notice, but worked really well and was a lot of fun. And then there's some stuff that we've changed. And so, you know, I know we set an opening day record in 2023 this past year on May 31st, and then we're also going for a new one on Saturday, July 15th. And TBD, we'll see what happens there. Could be big news there, but like it's just, I mean, everyone has their own story with the Mustangs, whether it's, you know, this past week we had our kids take over the ballpark and the parents who came down and talked about what a great experience that was for their kids. The proposals that we've had on the field. It's just
2, right?
3 actually.
3 now?
So 2 on July 4th and then Noah Bodenhausen the Saturday prior. So I mean July 1st I think, or who knows. But anyway, it's just been a really special year because everyone comes with their own background experience. Everyone walks through the ballpark with their own, you know, how they experience it. Maybe it's they're getting engaged or they got engaged. Maybe they came with a loved one and that loved one's passed, and so they're here with their community and their friends, and this is their family. Maybe it's a 1-year-old coming for the first time. You know, we've had people from London, New Zealand, Jamaica, Finland. I mean, everyone comes and experiences Phil Welsh in St. Joe, Missouri a little bit differently. Maybe you're just a diehard and you love the Mustangs or you love baseball with your youth team. And so everyone has a story to tell. And I think by getting out of the house and experiencing what we are able to have here with the Mustangs, it's something that, you know, people can create that positive memory, which is what we're shooting for. You know, we can't control if we win or lose a game, but we can control if you have a good time. And we do the best we can to make sure everyone has a good time. But seriously, I mean, as corny as it sounds, we're just out here telling stories all summer long. So, I mean, if you want to add a chapter to your story, that's why you should come to a Mustangs baseball game. And, you know, get to see some really good baseball, make some new friends, hopefully, and maybe even see Chris Roush. But, you know, we've always got wacky stuff going on. Yeah. People come out here, I say, you know, even if you don't like baseball, come out here because you like to have fun, and who doesn't like to do that? You know. Are
you saying I don't like to have fun? Or are you
yeah, I do.
Okay,
I was doing both.
Okay.
And Mitchell liked to have fun. But
right.
Anyway, you seriously never know what's going to happen. I mean, just past game, you know, we had Steve D'Amico and Jake Van Vector pitched against us for the Monarchs. Thinking about how that experience was for them to now experience it on the other side of the field and what emotion. And just a week earlier, they were playing for us with the alumni. Or the previous week when we were there with the U.S. Military War Dogs and what that meant to some of the people in the crowd. And July 3rd and 4th when we celebrated some of our veterans. I mean, it's truly a different story for everyone. And so I think that's really the fun part for us. You know, for me, I could kind of sit back and just watch everybody and see it unfold and, you know, and see the magic happen.
Kai, appreciate you coming on. A couple more games left. We'll see you out there at Phil Welch Stadium.
Not just a couple more games left. We're hopeful for a playoff push. So a couple more games left in the regular season, and then we really need you for the playoff push. So hopefully we can go ahead and go for 4. Is that the motto you want to use?
Go for 4?
We'll think about it.
Yeah, we'll think about it. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Well, every year the KQ2 has their Best of St. Joe series, and this year the St. Joe Mustangs earning an honor. And for that, we take a look back with KQ2's Mary Grace Rice.
Well, we are here joined by Kai Turner and Riley with the St. Joseph Mustangs because they have won Best of St. Joseph local sports team. So, Kai, I'll give that to you. Congratulations. And how are you feeling about this award today?
You know, this is exciting, so it's nice. I know rally's always pretty exciting as a horse can be, but, you know, for us to have this opportunity to win, it just means a lot to us. We appreciate, obviously, you know, seeing people in the stands every night. It's been a fantastic year. I know you've attended a few games this year, and you've been out there having fun.
Right,
and
of course.
Absolutely. And so for everyone to vote for us, I mean, you know, going against some of these teams, to have the opportunity to win this award means a lot to us. So we really appreciate this. Thank you, guys.
Right, and as you said, you had lots of fans. You had a great turnout. Opening night, you broke your opening night record this year. I know it's not overall fans, but how does that feel to you to know you have the community, thousands of people, and hundreds voting for you local sports team?
Just to keep being able to break records, on and off the field has been awesome in just so many different ways. Opening night was a great way. A lot of these guys, they hear about the experience in St. Joe, and then they get to come and see it, and it just wows them, and it really sets the stage for the future. And so, we'll make sure we let them know about this award, and I know they'll be pumped, which is great because we're about halfway through our season, July 3rd, July 4th coming up, and it's a playoff push, and we're trying to get that 4th straight Mink League championship in a row. So hopefully this will help us get over that hump.
Yeah, hopefully it will. I'm sure it will. So Kai Turner and Rally with the Mustangs, thank you two for joining us again, and congratulations.
Thanks. We'll see you there.
All right.
We'll wrap things up here on the St. Joe Mustang Show, sponsored by Getz Credit Union and Ventura Foods. And there are just 2 regular season games left for you to see the Mustangs this season. Next Friday and Saturday at Phil Welch Stadium, taking on Chillicothe, and then Carroll on Saturday. After that, regular season's over with the hopes the Mustangs will host a couple of postseason games and try to clinch their 4th straight Mink League title. And that will do it for us this week. We'll be back here next weekend, Saturday at 9 a.m., Sunday at 5 p.m. here with the St. Joseph Mustang Show. We'll see you then.